counterparts. Go ahead and say your names so people can get your voices right.
Tally with Tally Insurance.
With Beryl Engineering.
One at a time now.
You go first, Adam.
Well, this is Adam Tally with Tally Insurance. Happy to be back for hour number 2. I feel like I haven't done 2 full hours here in a while, so it's nice.
You haven't.
Leo came with Beryl Engineering. I have to say I was happy between shows when we were all socially distanced, and I was sitting by myself, isolated, like I plan to be for the rest of my life.
In Belize.
Here's the wipes, Leo. And so
baby.
Our guest for hour number 2 is Christine Long. She's a program officer for Metropolitan Ministries. And they are absolutely providing essential services probably now more than ever during this COVID-19 pandemic. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pat,
Lots of exciting things happening.
Really quick, do you hear that echo or is it just on our side?
Pat's not there.
Oh, I don't hear an echo, but let me...
Okay,
No, I don't hear an echo. Everything sounds great.
Okay, so it's on our side.
Echo from Katrina.
No, you can hear me. I'm here. Everything is fine. Something is happening in your headphones, Katrina, because everything else sounds great.
All right, perfect. So, Christine, let's chat a little bit about Metropolitan Ministries. What's going on over there? Your volunteers are still working, right? And, what's new in your world in the last couple weeks?
Okay, yes, we have definitely been busier than ever, unfortunately, because the need has grown exponentially with all of the things that are happening in our community related to COVID-19 and our safer at home shutdowns, and of course our businesses shutting down to protect everybody. So one of the first things that happened, of course, is we really need to change what we were doing for food. We were offering people food in congregate settings, and we were having folks come in and shop for food in our pantry, and we shifted all of that to grab and go and drive-through services. And then as we did that, we got a huge increase in demand, double or triple the number of folks that usually would come by for food. So many, many more people started coming to us for food. And so we've been offering food now at our drive-up food boxes. We're doing that on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And in the mornings from 10 to about noon or 1 o'clock, we do about 200 boxes each day, boxes of food, and that has been a wonderful way for the community to come and get food that they need in a way that's safe.
So how does it work?
And then all of our...
Christine, can I ask you, I know you said you're having double the amount of people. How does it work in terms of people that regularly get a food supply from you guys compared to someone that has a short-term need? Is there a sign-up process, or how does that work?
No, we're not asking anyone to sign up. We're just, anybody who's in need can come on by in the mornings, and there's a long line of cars, so you have to be patient. But we use people's license tags to see if they've received help in the past, and folks can come by every other week to get some food if they need it, if they continue to have food needs.
Now, so you guys are giving food to the community on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What about on Tuesday and Thursday? What kind of things are going on?
Okay, yeah, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're actually taking food out into the community. So there's lots of places, folks, and that can't really come to downtown Tampa to get their food. So we've been taking food boxes out to them. We've gone to Sun City. I know we went to, Ruskin, Riverview, North Tampa, South Tampa. We're really looking at locations where there's pockets of need and folks that don't have the ability to come to our location. And so that's what we've been doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So different partnerships, different areas of the community throughout the week, or throughout the month, basically.
Now, how have things changed in terms of your volunteers for your organization? Yeah,
we've had to limit volunteers, unfortunately. Obviously, folks aren't supposed to be out and about. We've cut down our volunteers to a minimum. Those that we need, a lot of those are regular volunteers that have been coming on a regular basis. There's still some availability for folks to sign up, but we're doing temperature checks We have masks and things and gloves and things like that folks are wearing while they're there with us. And we have a lot of our staff redeployed into volunteer positions to make sure that we're covering all of our needs and keeping everybody safe.
So if you have less volunteers, how's that impacting your organization right now?
It's a lot of work, I will say. It's a lot of work. The employees and the volunteers that are coming, I mean, everyone's working hard. I think we're working smarter. We've learned a lot of ways to streamline processes. With the changes that we've made, it is a faster process. It's a less labor-intensive process. We do have volunteers going out to our warehouse, kind of sorting and boxing food, so that's been really helpful, for sure, to keep things flowing. And we're making it day by day.
Now, some of the other things you guys do as well is provide emergency shelter, right? Is that something that you guys are freezing right now?
No, we are still offering emergency shelter, and we're actually have expanded that during this COVID-19 pandemic. We received some support from Hillsborough County to put homeless families in motels. And right now we have 39 families in motels, along with the 100 families we have on our campus. So we are continuing to serve folks in crisis. Our intakes are continuing as families move out. We move new families in, and that's continuing. It's all a virtual process now, online, but we're still providing that critical service.
Are you guys seeing any kind of demand yet for this, for people that, had permanent or stable housing in the past but now need a place to stay? Are you seeing an increase yet?
We haven't seen the increase yet. Where we have seen the increase, of course, is in people needing rental assistance. We've always offered some rental assistance for folks. A couple of weeks ago, we got a very generous donation from the Lightning Foundation, and it gave us an opportunity to open up that more widely. And in 1 week, we had over 1,700 requests for rental assistance.
How does that work?
So that
you guys provide rental assistance?
Well, folks would call in or call into our line, and then we would contact them back. Basically, what people needed to do to qualify is they needed to show a recent job loss, a reduction in hours, or a documented quarantine so that they couldn't work, all related to COVID-19. And along with their lease, ID, information from their landlord, there's some very basic information to show that they had a recent need. And then we would, work through that process to help get their rent paid for the month.
So it's not a partial payment, it's a full payment, and it's month by month?
Yes. It would be 1 month full payment. Is basically. We did some partial payments with some previous funding sources that we had, but with the Lightning donation, we were able to pay 1 month's rent for folks. And we're still working through that process.
How much did the Lightning Foundation donate?
They donated $300,000.
Wow.
Which was amazing. Yeah.
Because I know they also donated to that one Tampa or whatever the Tampa thing that's going on that we talked about in the first hour. Where
Tampa won?
Yeah, Tampa won. Thank you.
I got tired of watching the news. I had to turn it off.
But yeah, so it's good. Jeff Fennick's putting his money where his mouth is, which I think is awesome.
How far is that going to go, do you think, that donation?
Well, it's been about $1,000 per household. You can see that'd be about 300 households, $300,000. So obviously there's a lot more need.
All right, so
yeah.
We're going to roll to our first break here, and when we come back, tell the person listening how to get involved, how they can help, what you need most in the community, what you can offer the community. And we'll be back here on Tampa Home Talk in just a moment. Our off-air number, 377-2775. Call or text 813-377-2775.
keep on so
Lovely.
long.
Man, my wife is going to just love to hear that.
Go home and say, Leo thinks I'm lovely.
That's great.
Then you can marry him. Oh. Hey, I'm just saying. I haven't been around people in a long time. I forgot what people look like.
If you guys start spooning, I'm out.
Well, since you're between Adam and I, if that would be uncomfortable for you.
Yes, that would be.
Am I going to have to hit the dumb button?
Distancing.
The Metropolitan Ministry lady's on the phone. Christine Long. Let's go back there. So I'm in the community. What can we do to help?
How does it go so sideways sometimes? I'm just saying.
It's the Leo King Comedy Hour. I promised that in the 9 o'clock hour.
So, Christine, I guess a better question is, what can we do for Metropolitan Ministries? Like, what do you need? And then how can people help if they have the ability to help?
Okay. Well, we certainly need food. That has been, as I mentioned earlier, the huge demand for food, lots of folks coming by. And so food donations are a great way to help. They can be dropped off at our campus on Tampa Street, Florida Avenue, Tampa Street location. Also up at our Holiday, Florida campus is another great spot if you live up in that area.
What food items would you say are needed the most?
Well, we need cereal. I definitely saw that was a need, as well as proteins like peanut butter and tuna fish. But any non-perishable foods.
Great.
Boxes, cans of anything, and I think sometimes we were concerned and we stocked up here at the beginning of the pandemic, and now the grocery stores have started having more stuff, and so people might have some extra things that they could drop by.
Yeah, definitely help do that. If you want to know where to send that, we can text you the address, 813-377-2775. Just text MM for Metropolitan Ministries to 813-377-2775. Again, that's our off-air number. You can call or text 813-377-2775. One last curious question for you, Christine, before we let you go. How many families do you think you guys feed in a week or in a month?
Oh, my goodness. That's a good question. Well, we're providing 3,000 meals a day.
21,000
So, yes, there you go. Somebody has good math skills on this radio show.
40,000 meals a month.
There you go. Thank you. And that's just our hot meals that we take out to locations. So the food boxes, which we're doing 200 a day, and those serve about a family of 4 for about 3 or 4 days. So with the calculations, yes, yeah, it is about 1 million meals a year. So there's lots of need. The need is growing, so that it's really helpful when folks.
Thank you for all that you do in the community, Christine, and all that Metropolitan Ministries does in the community. And I'm sure you'll be excited to get the volunteers back out there as soon as all this passes a little bit. And
absolutely.
Again, if you bought some extra food you stocked up on, and you bought something you don't like, or you just want to donate it because you have too much, they'll be glad to take it off your hands. 813-377-2775. Or if you'd like to purchase some of the items they need the most, like the protein items and the cereal, I know they'd appreciate it. So
and we do have but we have a way online as well on metromin.org that you could donate specifics for food purchases or for other needs for COVID-19 if you'd like.
Perfect. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate your insight, and we'll do everything we can to support the community.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right. So let's get to just a couple other things that we want to cover. It's interesting because I get people asking us even now, are you guys still selling real estate?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We are.
And we're still inspecting real estate.
We are.
And Adam's still insuring real estate.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's interesting.
And then dropping them.
The biggest question we have to
play nice.
The biggest question we have to ask now when we get an offer is like, what does your buyer do for work?
Yeah.
How secure is their job, right? It's a very good question because, I mean, I literally had 2 that popped yesterday, and it's going to be a domino effect.
Well, and I think one of the other things that's going to probably squeeze the market a little bit, at least from an insurance standpoint, is you might have some people that are trying to get out of their house, so they can sell it, maybe downsize, try to save some money. they don't have that cash on hand if they need to make repairs or anything
True.
else like that. I mean, I've had a few this week where there's been a lot of repairs that are needed just to make it insurable. And unless you're buying that house in cash, you got to have insurance, and there's no way around it, right? There's no, and most carriers, I mean.
So you're talking about, is that a renewal where their policy needs to renew and they're requiring some repairs?
I'm saying, like, let's say, for example, you have a house and you want to sell it, right? But okay, maybe that roof has some wear and tear on it. Maybe the electrical box doesn't fit with current standards. All these other things. Well, the buyer can't get insurance if that stuff's not replaced. I wouldn't replace stuff on a house that I don't own yet, and maybe the seller doesn't have enough money to fix it. So now what do you do?
I mean, we're seeing that. We have one right now, right, where Leo and his team did the 4-point, and it's quite a list on that 4-point.
It's an opportunity for growth.
Yes, opportunity for economic growth and development through the construction trades.
The interesting thing, too, is like one of the comments, do you remember the wording on it, Adam? It said something about the defect of the shingles, and we knew the roof was old going into it, and there were some broken, missing, damaged shingles. However, with the way it was worded, it was really weird, and I had to talk to your inspector to figure out, is it all of the shingles or part of the shingles? And so what he said, and you can probably elaborate on this a little bit more, he said sometimes when they make the roofing materials, the first run, the last run actually has pits in some of the shingles. And so
they were defective.
Defective
That's what
shingle,
it was. Yeah.
Which inspector was this?
which one was it? Do you remember?
Oh, I could pull
Do you
up
have
the
it?
email.
Okay.
I could pull up the email.
Pull it up and
My
show
phone's
me.
in the room.
Yeah, please show me during the break. But
Okay.
yeah, that does
We'll come
happen
back- we'll come back
time
to
to
that.
time when you were in the certain batch runs with certain granules and they're switching over. You can get manufacturer defect shingles.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, what do we have to fix to get a clean 4-point, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, especially when it comes to these 4 points, all the carriers, you could just go down the list, right? On the 4-point, it lists satisfactory, unsatisfactory, depending on which 4-point you use. Theirs does. Theirs actually has a few other categories.
We just use the Citizens one. Everyone should be using the Citizens one.
Fair enough. But, if you go on there and you see anything that's not checked as satisfactory, I mean, that's a immediate no-go.
Yep.
And then sometimes on the plumbing, the type that it is
Galvanized
may
or
look
polybutylene.
may say satisfactory on a 4-point, but the carriers might make a decision on that,
Yep.
as well as with an electrical panel. So
They definitely don't like the polybutylene pipes. Like
polybutylene, they do not like. Galvanized, I have one where we're going to be able to write it. The carrier just excludes water damage, which
kind of defeat the purpose of insurance.
We'll insure everything except for what's probably going to need insurance for.
in this
Exactly.
case,
That's what I heard too.
In this case, it's a 1930s house. It'd be limited water damage anyways.
Yeah,
so
it'll be underneath.
It's it's a no. It's a what's coming, right? But at that case, it's a 1930s house. I can get this particular person a rate for $1,700, which is pretty good. Or if they want water damage, I believe I can find them something for $3,000. So.
And what was that first premium?
$1,700. So, after, what's the math on that, Leo? After, 6 years, they will have paid enough. They would have saved enough for the $10,000 they would have gotten in water damage coverage anyways. So, that's kind of the decisions you got to
Definitely
make.
chasing the good money after bad, I would say.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
All right, so Leo's all curious.
inspection.
This is the one. Where's the 4-point?
That's
There
not
we
the
go.
4-point. That is
Oh,
literally.
she got me the regular.
That's the
okay.
regular one.
I got it. I got it right here.
Should have figured.
Let's see here. No addresses, of course, but don't want to give that out.
Yeah, no addresses, no names.
No addresses, no names. Plumbing.
Everything's changed to
good.
protect the innocent.
Copper. A lot of electrical things on this one.
Well,
Yeah, which the interesting thing is they had I know the listing agent well that we're under contract with, and the prior buyer's agent, I know that person well too.
Mm-hmm.
And they canceled for some of the similar reasons. And the guy literally, the seller, had a handyman go try to fix some of these things. So Leo, what do you say we dive into that inspection report?
Yeah, I'd love
we'll get
to.
the 4-point printed too.
Oh, I also have something unique that came up the other day that we'll talk about too.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right. Hey, if you got some real estate questions or inspection questions or insurance, we're here to help. 813-377-2775. That's our off-air number. You can call or text. 813-336. Yeah, that. 813-377-2775. Call or text. 813-377-2775. This is Tampa Home Talk. I'll be back in just a moment. So stick with us.
Home Talk. This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance, and I see smiles ear to ear from everybody here with the Big Cat Rescue commercial.
Y'all made me watch it.
Oh.
You actually saw Tiger
I
King.
saw it.
I have
what
not
a
seen it,
show.
but you have seen it.
You've
what
not
a
seen
gem.
I only saw the first episode.
I don't even watch
Oh,
TV.
it's a gem. It's a gem.
How did you like it, Katrina?
A true American story.
I definitely think it lowered my IQ a little bit watching it, but it was entertainment.
Oh, at its greatest. I mean, it was better than watching wrestling.
Serena's watched it. I have to see it.
It was like watching a live version of Hatfield McCoy.
Thankful I have all my teeth, or most of them. There's a lot of interesting folks on that show.
Did you see the last one?
Oh, yeah, they came out with
Where are they now?
No, I did not. Not yet.
That's the follow-up to Take Two.
The one guy got all of his teeth fixed.
That's good.
That's the music.
Wow, I did not see that one yet.
Oh yeah, he got his teeth
Oh,
fixed.
great.
Spoiler alert. You have to say spoiler alert.
He got a tattoo over another tattoo.
Spoiler alert. Does he still sleep and snuggle with cats?
No, this guy was he was just
The first husband.
a husband, one of the husbands.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Leo.
I saw the first episode.
Anyways, back on task here.
Yes.
Leo, now that you've seen this inspection,
Well,
done by
now-
one of your favorite inspectors, I'm sure.
Now that I've seen this inspection, yeah, he's right. This needs a new roof.
Well, we knew that going into it. That wasn't even the question.
Then what's the question?
Hold on.
There's no photos of the manufacturer defects, so I can't comment on it. But he's got leaks at the skylight. They got leaks at the attic. They got all leaks in all the right places.
So they need a new roof and a new electrical panel.
This right here. So you read it and
Evident-
comment
yeah.
on it. The roof, shingles.
Yeah, show pitting in numerous areas, maybe a single defect, but there's no photos, so I can't comment on it. I mean, he's got more than enough roofing defect photos in this report for Adam to say no insurance. But that being said, I don't see any photos of the pitting, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, I mean, it is pitting like that usually happens when shingles boil.
Boil. Like how so?
Like peanuts. You dip them in the water. Water's
Yeah.
really hot.
Like when are they boiling?
We had one an inspection. Here's a prime example of boiling shingles.
We're gonna hear that in just a moment.
Yeah, we had an inspection earlier this week where there was tar coming off the roof, and you can see it coming out the drip edge. You can see it on the vents. You can see it in the attic, and that was shingles boiling. What they had done is they had used peel and stick underlayment for a conditioned attic space, so there was no ventilation for the shingles. So the peel and stick melted, and the shingles started boiling, and the granules came off.
Was there ridge vents?
Well, there was a ridge vent, but it was useless because directly below the ridge vent was the inside.
So
It was a livable space. There was no attic.
Did they convert it?
Well, no, there was just a really bad roof design.
so it was the roof design,
it was
not the underlayment, or
It was
both.
It was
So there was no attic space.
the roofer should have never put peel and stick underlayment in that application, because if you put peel and stick underlayment and you don't have an attic that actually has warm air circulating through it, your shingles will melt and boil. This case is a little different. This was a manufacturer defect where the shingles, the pitting and the sliding of the granules, excessive loss, is over time the seal of the shingles will break. The seal of the granules to the shingle mat. So picture it, you have fiberglass and then you basically have street. The street is on top of fiberglass. It's the same material, it's street. So over time, if you have a defect where the street isn't glued properly to the fiberglass, so if your street isn't on top of your surfboard correctly, the street separates from the surfboard.
Excellent.
Same material.
Analogy. I love it.
Interesting.
So usually with manufacturer defect, that sort of defect would show up within the first 3 to 5 years, which is why I really wanted to see photos, which would explain the number of leaks, actually. They would go hand in hand. So that's why there would be so many leaks on this property, because your surfboard isn't meant to keep the water out. It's the street that's meant to keep the water out.
So if you had a roof, if a roofer, how long are, if somebody puts a roof on, a lot of roofers are doing warranties. How long are those warranties lasting?
Well,
That's a loaded question,
they
right?
usually give you a labor warranty anywhere between 2 and 5 years.
Okay.
And the manufacturer warranty is anywhere between 10 and 20 years. And that manufacturer warranty is something called prorated, which means that...
Why do you see 30 and 40-year shingles then?
Well, Florida's a little different.
Yeah, Florida. That's a lie in Florida.
Okay, so Florida is the state that 55 inches of rain a year.
We're exempt.
We get the 55 inches of rain, for the most part, in a 4-month period. So we're constantly wetting our shingles. The water's evaporating. As that water evaporates, micro explosions happen when water turns into a vapor. It's true.
Hey, I love it.
It's an exothermic reaction. So what ends up happening is...
Learn something new every day on this show.
Your shingles are baking and boiling on a constant basis, and that's why they break down a lot faster.
Because they're
than up
wet,
north.
and then
they're wet, and they're dry.
sweat.
They're wet, they're
Yeah.
dry, they sweat. They're wet, dry, sweat. So that's why they don't last as long as they do up north. But with these warranties, you have a 2 to 5 year labor warranty. Then you have like a 20-year manufacturer warranty. And then in the state of Florida, and Aaron knows all about this, you have a 10-year construction defect warranty. That means if your roofer messed up, even though there's only a 2 to 5 year labor warranty, they're really on the hook for 10 years.
But with this roof being 15 years old, this homeowner is
Just
SOL.
toast.
Yeah, this homeowner basically had these manufacturer defects, probably didn't notice it. A lot of times, it's strange with a roof leak. Unless you're going up on the roof on a regular basis, your roof can be leaking, your attic can be wet, your attic trusses can be rotting, and you never see any of this because there's no leaking on the ceiling
And
on the inside.
What? Maybe you only go in the attic probably around Thanksgiving to pull down the Christmas tree.
If you're
and that's about
Katrina,
it.
you never go in the attic.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're barely...
Adam, you don't have an attic.
So by the time you actually... Yeah, you have the upstairs bathroom to worry about.
It's fine. All concrete. Don't hear them.
But that's the danger with these houses is by the time you see a roof leak in your interior, even a small little stain,
It's been damaged for a while.
Massive amounts of damage up there.
Wow.
My son actually purchased a house with no attic space, going back to what you were saying earlier. So it's interesting. It's really hard to even wire a fan or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that. I mean, the
Can't
attic...
get a wind mitt.
You can get a wind mitt. You just can't get all the credits.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain credits where you just say no attic access. So
All the important ones.
well, the new roof covering's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's a very important one. The peel and stick for the new roof covering, which in your scenario you wouldn't want because you have no attic.
Right.
It's amazing how many roofers just don't know that. They all learn the hard way. They all learn when they have a warranty complaint and they're like, "There's black stuff's coming off my roof." Once I hear that, I know exactly what it is.
Oh man.
Wow. It's just
You
yeah,
put your shingles in a boiling pot of water.
pretty much like a witch's cauldron to get
I
to
love
the
it.
holiday spirit again. When do the Halloween decorations come out?
Oh, you got a while.
Maybe we'll do half Halloween, which would be the end of this month. That'd be 2 weeks
Are you
from
kidding
now.
me?
So
Really?
with all this social distancing going back into effect in October, are we going to even have Halloween? Are my children going to be able to walk the streets?
Your chickens? I don't know. Maybe your chickens can.
Well, we
walk.
got a new fence, so I just let the chickens out during the day.
Well, that's good. No, I don't know. Hopefully, we're not doing this during Halloween.
But yeah, for any homeowners out there, if you get a new roof and about a year or two after your new roof is installed, you start seeing black tar in
On
your
the
attic
side, right?
or on the side of your building from your roof covering, give Aaron Donovan or Leo Kane a call. You can reach us at 813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775. If you have black tar dripping down the side of your roof, and I know there's going to be a whole subdivision with this defect because we just inspected a big box builder home that had this defect, and all the homes in the subdivision were done exactly the same. Very excited. about
How old are those homes?
2016. So they're just around the
Oh,
time frame
man.
now where it's going to start melting.
Wow.
You know what I've noticed too, Leo?
How
some of
excited
these,
I get about
well,
these
some of the
things?
entry level builders, I can't, and I'm probably going to say it wrong, but is it 3-tab versus 2-dimensional shingles?
3-tab versus architectural.
The side by side flat ones.
Yeah, well, the 3-tabs look like barbecue bricks, and the architecturals, I say, has multiple little flappies all over the place.
Yeah.
One is textured, is how I describe it.
I like to call it flappies, especially when an engineer comes in and says, "Oh, it's the one that had the flappies."
The overlap, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the better grade of those shingles has smaller and more overlaps.
Yeah,
No.
but the life distance, which is what I want to ask, because it's interesting, some of the builders putting on the cheaper shingles, right? The side-by-side shingles.
The Home Depot special, we call them, because
How long, what's the lifespan on those here in Florida for those compared to the architectural?
well, the Home Depot special shingles are typically 20-year shingles that you're lucky if you get 12 to 15 years out of. The architectural ones, the ones with the flappies, those can last 25, 30 years. The reason being is with the barbecue brick style, you lose a barbecue brick, your water's coming straight through. If you have a bunch of flappies and you lose a flappy or two, you still have more flappies protecting your roof.
I'll tell you from a insurance standpoint.
They like flappies better.
Yes. So, yes, everybody likes the flappies.
You guys are saying flappies, but like
Flappies, little flaps.
From an insurance standpoint, composite shingle, 15 years or newer, that's it. The architectural, we actually have some carriers that'll open up to 20 years on the architectural shingle, so that kind of gives you a little bit more options. And then obviously, if you have clay tile or something, those are extending out a lot more too. So,
What about the companies that advertise now?
I'm sorry.
What about the companies that what about the companies that advertise now on Facebook or on OfferUp? They'll come out and they will pressure wash your roof.
oh God, no.
Cringe. Okay, so
No.
the pressure washing of your roof is a low pressure wash. It's not a pressure wash. If you pressure wash your roof, you're subjecting it to a hurricane. If you low pressure wash it, you're subjecting it really still to like an afternoon thunderstorm, a severe one. But yeah, I don't recommend pressure washing your roof.
How do you recommend cleaning those? Because we definitely want to pressure wash that, remove those granulars, and
Yeah, you remove
that probably would take what, a year or two minimum off your roof.
Oh, definitely. Like if you're stupid enough, like some HOAs say you have to pressure wash your roof, and some homeowners will do it themselves and rent a pressure washer. They've just basically taken 5 to 10 years
They
off
actually
their
can't
roof.
tell you have to pressure wash it, can they?
They do. It's in some of the docs. I've
but I
seen 'em.
mean, really, they can tell
I've
you
seen
that?
it. But it's a low. But they leave out the word "low" when sending out the instructions, and people take 5 to 10 years off their roof. Even if you low pressure wash, you're still like removing a year's worth of life from your roof. And it's
What's
just
the
not
best way
worth
to
it.
clean it?
It's a low bleach solution with a low pressure wash, basically. That's still a way to do it. There's also a chemical you can spray up there that's not actually a pressure wash. Cleaning your shingles, you're really just trying to remove the algae. But the best thing you can do to clean your roof is hop up on the roof and get the big piles of leaves off of it.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the valley.
Definitely.
That's what you need to do to clean your roof. Don't do the pressure washing.
How often do you do that?
Well, I have a metal roof, so I'm up there twice a year to
Metal roofs are good.
Yeah, to get the leaves out of the valleys, because that's the only place they're hanging out.
When we come back, I want your opinion. I had somebody that told me they were going to spray their roof because they were told it could give them an extra 3 to 5 years of life. So I was like,
Spray it.
I know what you're talking about,
Okay.
and I have lots of comments on
yes.
All right, and we're going to share at least 2 new listings that are pretty amazing that literally just hit the market. All right,
that
Tampa Home
aren't
Talk.
in this inspection.
813-377-2775.
75.
Got it.
813-377-2775.
Talk. This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance, joined by our fearless leader, Katrina Madewell, and
With what voice is left? That's me.
It's just Adam and Leo for the last 10
our
minutes.
I know.
expert engineer, Mr. Leo Kane with Beryl Project
All
Engineering.
right, let's share our 2 listings before we run out of time. Can you do that, Leo?
I can do that. I got
The 2 on top.
2 listings. I've got.
We got more than that, but these 2 I want to share.
9616 Long Meadow. This is in Town and Country, built in 1994. Great house, single story, gable roof at the front. Very, very picturesque with a garage.
Love it.
Great property. It's actually beautiful.
Yeah, 9616 Long Meadow, and the price on this is up $250,000. So it's $250,000 in Town and Country. This is a steal.
What's our square footage
I
on
think
that?
it's going to sell before the weekend,
Oh,
actually.
it's a 3.2. It's got to be at
1522.
least 1,500 square feet.
1,500.
Heated.
What's the age of the roof?
Well, it's 1994, so I would hope the roof has been replaced
Probably like
since then.
2010?
2017. AC, roof last
Last year.
year. New
Oh,
AC,
wow.
New
You're
AC,
looking
new roof.
insurance.
Everything's redone.
Insurance. What are we looking at for this? Take a look at this house.
He's like, dang it, I could have quoted it already.
$750, $800
Wow.
For the
That's
year?
awesome.
total.
I'm in the wrong
Done.
house.
This one's a steal. It's a little gem.
Oh, 10512 Mill River Drive. That's in Newport Richie, isn't it?
It's more like
NPR.
Trinity, Newport Richie area. It's right on 54. Great location.
1996 build. Look at this nice flat front with gutter system protecting you as you walk in. It's on a dead-end street that's paved.
Look at the price on that thing.
Oh, 125?
That's a steal.
I could pay this in cash.
It's in great condition, and I tell you, a lot of the stuff in that area like that for that price is 55 and up, and this one's not.
Wow.
I can't believe that there's something this cheap on the market. $125,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house?
Just at the market.
Just at the market less
So-
than a week ago.
Okay, before we run out of time, I need to get Leo's opinion on this spray for your roof to extend
Yeah, I've
the
never
life.
heard of that. What is it?
It's basically a paint covering you put on your roof. I'm very opposed to it. One, I'm opposed to it for Adam reasons. It's not going to extend the roof is still going to be treated as a 20-year roof, 25-year
Correct.
roof. So the insurance companies hate it. You're basically you're spending thousands of dollars to put a Band-Aid up on your roof that's going to last 3 years. You're not going to get any insurance benefit from it. You're
Correct.
still going to be pressured to change your roof. Why spend that much money?
And somebody would do it. Why? And how much does it cost?
It's generally between $2,000 and $4,000. People would do it because they can't afford
A new roof.
and they can't find a roofer that will finance them because a lot of roofers will finance you for roof replacement. So
I saw it on one where it's, I'm doing the insurance for the buyer, and they, there's nothing wrong with the roof. There's no leaks or anything, but it's an 18-year-old roof. They know where it, they know they're going to have to do it. They don't want to have to replace it right away, and the seller can't.
So they want to do that?
That's what they're leaning towards.
the only problem with that is why would I spend thousands of dollars for an action that won't help me with the insurance company? Because the insurance company is still going to say you've got a 20-year roof.
Or buy you time?
This product is advertised to give you 3 years. We want at least 5 years on your roof. I mean,
It does. Oh, from insurance, your permit date is your permit date.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
But the goop doesn't give you. You need to be above 3, mostly above 5 years useful life to get insurance.
oh, at least this.
'cause 3
Like I
is
said,
the new
18
zero.
years.
Yeah,
18
3
years on the roof. So
3
we're
is the
okay.
new 0. So it's like, why spend thousands of dollars for something that ultimately isn't going to get you more time with the insurance company?
Now, I don't get it, but, it's not my choice, not my house. Now, that being said, do you see any issues on the back end? Because obviously you work with Aaron and that kind of stuff. Could you see claims denied for something like that where you...
Oh yeah,
Could it damage the roof to where they could deny a claim?
It doesn't damage the roof to where they deny a claim, but it's one of those things where the insurance companies love to say it was a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, you knew about it. There's
You
a
knew
Band-Aid.
about it, so here, you glooped your roof because you knew it was old and needed to be replaced. You put this product on to give you a couple more years, and it failed because you knew your roof was bad. So I can easily see where having that stuff would hurt you in an insurance claim. Because they're going to say pre-existing condition.
Interesting. That's good. That's good knowledge for this.
There's 2 other reasons I don't like the goop. One, it increases
The
your
goop.
energy bill.
Because it insulates, right?
It's basically taking your shingles, which are meant to breathe, and now you put basically nail polish on top of them. They can't breathe. So you got nail polish on top of your street, on top of your surfboard. Your street can't breathe.
It's going to be slick.
It's gonna be slick to walk on, but more importantly, it's gonna trap heat. So your energy bills are gonna go up.
Wow.
I would say don't put somebody on your roof with that finish because you have a good propensity that could fall off.
Only
Could
buy
be a
brand new
lawsuit.
houses, move every 10 years. You'll never have to buy a roof in your life.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot on buying a house is 5 to 7 years old.
There you go.
I want to see the house. I want it to get through its construction settling period where things are going to randomly break. 5 to 7 years is the sweet spot on finding a home. So
And then how long do you stay in it? 5 to 7 years? Get out of it before
oh no, you stay forever.
He lives in over 100-year-old home.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't
know,
like.
I've-
I don't move unless I'm forced to because the last thing I want to do, and we don't have any lenders listening right now. And if Sarah, I love what you do.
Apologies, Sarah.
Apologies, Sarah, but there's no way I want to reset an amortization table Because when you start, you pay 99% interest, 1% principal. And every time you move, you start the table over again.
Yeah, but you can do a 20-year or redo it.
Yeah, but still
pick up
you-
where you left off.
You don't really pick up where you left off. You start with...
If your rate's lower, though, which is the whole purpose of doing it.
If it mathematically makes sense. If I'm...
Right.
Let's just say I've done 99, 98, 97, 96. I'm down to like 45% interest, 55% principal. And I move. I've just started that whole table over again. And I'm paying a lot more interest now.
Oh, I get it, because I'm well over that place in my own mortgage, so I do understand.
So I don't like the whole move every 5 to 7 years. I like the Dave Ramsey, pay the extra payment a month. Cut your mortgage
I tell you
down.
what, we were pounding down on the principal on our mortgage, and about, 6 or 8 months ago, I said, I'm not going to pound down on the principal for a while. I'm just going to sit on some cash, and I'm going to prepay my mortgage payment for several months ahead. And then actually when this whole thing happened, I just paid a bunch more ahead. So I literally paid my mortgage into January. I don't have a payment due until January. Next year. Paid all my utilities, everything for a year. Like literally paid everything for over a year.
That's good.
Well, I mean,
Just in case, right?
She's bailing on the money up front.
I lived through the housing market crash, right? So we learned a lot in that. We saved a lot during this time. And, I don't want to be able to look at my needs ahead of my people. If I don't have that worry, the focus is always on my people.
Don't buy the barbecue brick. Get yourself happy.
Our author number.
Get yourself happy. And then if you have to go at it.
1-377-2775. Left comments like that. Or you can connection 813-377-2775.